to the crib where it going smooth. I was flowing, a night in store. I was knowing that Jimmy was growing. Out of the car to the front door. What a night we had in store.
It's the beginning of a new and excitingly different story. Story. Story.
Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Pick up on this. Pick up on this. Pick up on this. Give it all you got. 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 Pick up on this. Pick up on this. Pick up on this. Dance floor, let your body feel the heat. Get closer to the speakers, baby, so your feet can feel the beat. When you feel the groove, step out your shoes and let me see your body move. Let's switch it up for a while. Break it down, let's do it doggy style. Give it all you got. 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 Pick up on this. When we walk into a party, all the ladies stop and pause. Homeboys give us high five, cause they know we're down by law. We came to express our feelings, we're here to rock and not be illin'. So throw your hands high in the air until you touch the ceiling. Just give it all you got. 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 Give it all you got.
Take Billy Ho here.
He's dancing his way back to me. Yes, he discovered we are truly lovers, magic from the very start. 'Cause love just can't be proven, and it don't be moving, even though we danced apart. So we started dancing, and love put us into the groove. As soon as we started to move, as soon as we started to move, love
All my life I've waited for a girl like you, just to hold me the way you do. That was a dream come true. Now I want to stay. I need to know that you will be the one for me. I want to know how far this love will go. I want to be the one who's left to know that this would only be a memory. Just tell me what you see, just what this love can be. Just look into my eyes and tell me what you see. Promises were broken, now it's you, girl, that I need. Just look into my eyes, you'll see a rainbow we can share. So don't let this be another lie. Just look into my eyes. Just look into my eyes. As I count the hours of the day, just tell me what I need to hear you say. I want to play those games I used to play. Baby, can't you see just what you do to me? It's hard enough to find the love that's true. How heaven knows, girl, I wanted to be with you. So now the times I've left it up to you. Just open up your heart and girl, just turn the key. Just look into my eyes and tell me what you see. Promises were broken, now it's you, girl, that I need. Just look into my eyes, you'll see a rainbow we can share. So don't let this be another lie. Just look into my eyes. Just look into my eyes. Got to find the love so true. Just take my hand and show me what this means to you. A special love where all our dreams come true. Just look into my eyes and share this dream, just me and you.
Please, allow me just 4 minutes of your time. For what I'm about to tell you is going to affect you, your family, and your friends. And it's coming real soon. What I'm talking about is this. We've now arrived at the final decade, less than 10 years to go, till the return of Jesus Christ. God said in His Word, "I have declared the end from the beginning." Well, the beginning was the 7-day creation story. And this is how He did it. Each creation day foretold of a future 1,000-year period, for a total 7,000.
Well, I need to tell you all something, and it's the most important thing I could ever say to you. in a little while, you'll know for certain that I'm putting my very life on the line and the safety of my family by sharing this with you. So I hope that buys me at least a few minutes of your precious time. If this video is taken down, it wasn't taken down by me, alright? Now I'm partly doing this to wash your blood off my hands, because God saved my life on a midnight highway one fateful night for this very cause. And He's watching, as He clearly proved that night. See, I should be dead. My sleeping driver was hurling us toward a concrete wall at 100 kilometers an hour when an angel of God was sent to wake me up from a deep sleep with just a whisper, and just in time. And for what? Not so I could win X Factor or buy that dream Porsche or marry that dream girl, but for this, for these words, for this moment, so I can tell you something, so I can warn you about something. Nothing could be more important than this. So cancel that movie you wanted to watch, skip that gym session. Don't scroll down to the next post. Just stay with me. Stay with me. Now, don't worry about the quality of the video or the audio. Just focus on the content. Listen to my voice and trust your eyes. Most of you won't care for the shocking thing I'm about to expose to you, because no one cares. No one cares. Not my exes, former friends, former bandmates, work colleagues, parents, family members, strangers. No one cares. But still, I'm doing all this for one person. One single human being out there. God is calling you, and He's looking for the last ones before the storm. And if you think you know where I'm going with this, please keep watching, because the most important part of this video comes at the end. Everything you're about to hear is a fact, and I'll prove it to you. I will leave no room for doubt. And nothing can stop what's coming. So this isn't a call for an uprising, boycott, protest. No. The Titanic is sinking, and it's unstoppable. All I'm going to do is point you to the life raft. And if you want to ignore me, then fine, proceed at your own peril. God knows I've tried. If you want to mock me, then at least share the video. Let others mock me too. Tell your friends. Check this freak out. Anything to help me reach someone who has eyes to see and ears to hear. And like I said, in a few minutes, you'll know why my well-being is in danger, and that of my loved ones too. Now let me ask you something real quick. Who do you think, generally speaking, runs the world? What type of people are the leaders of our countries and corporations, and the rich and the famous too? I mean, like, are they Christians? Do Christians run the world? Well, no, of course not. Buddhists? No. Do Muslims run the world? No. What about atheists? It's got to be atheists, right? Because we've come such a long way as a society, and atheism is the rational state of mind for the modern type of person, right? No. What about a mixture of people? Different types of people run the world. Let me tell you something. All the leaders from Africa to Europe to the Middle East, Israel, Syria, Iran, all the way to the Americas, all these people, and we'll get to the celebrities in a second, they're not atheists, Buddhists, or Muslims. No. What if I told you that they all belong to the same religion? A secret religion. One that none of them are allowed to talk about. One that you should worry about because it affects you beyond belief in ways that you never imagined. Before I tell you what this worldwide secret religion thinks of you and plans to do to you, let me tell you what this religion is. And how do I know about this religion? Because I used to belong to it. And today I'm renouncing it publicly, breaking my oath of silence, which they imposed upon me and every single other member during ceremonies under the penalty of death. That's why my life is in danger.
This is a Sabbath Covenant production from the Sabbath Covenant YouTube channel, where Yahuwah is the only true God and Yahusha is our eternal high priest. from a Nazarene perspective. I am Rav Shaul. The false Messiah is the Antichrist, and I'm going to use that term for effect instead of the more accurate term false Messiah. Is the Antichrist a literal man? Is the Antichrist some future or possibly current world leader who leads the entire population of Earth into worshiping him? Does he literally stamp 666 or a barcode on our forehead, or possibly implant a biochip under the skin on our right hand? Is there going to be a new religion spring up overnight that causes the entire world to worship this Antichrist figure? Is this man going to be elevated in our hearts as God incarnate above Yahuwah? Is this man going to go to Jerusalem and enter a rebuilt temple, stop the sacrificial offerings, and proclaim it?
What is the truth about Jesus Christ? That is the question. What is the truth about Jesus Christ? That is the question we will be tackling today. And my hope today is that you see the whole truth and nothing but the truth about Jesus Christ, as well as see the truth in who Jesus Christ really is today. Now, let me preface this and say, do I believe in the New Testament? Yes, I do. Do I believe in the Messiah that is spoken of in the New Testament? Yes, I do. I believe that the Messiah not only died, but he was also resurrected and atoned for my sins. I do believe that. However, I do not believe it the way Christianity teaches. I do not believe it the way religion teaches it. And you're going to see that Scripture agrees with me, and so does the King James Version. And you're going to also see that the King James Version, Jesus is not even the name of the Messiah in the King James Version. Don't believe me? You will after this, because the truth will be revealed today. Now, what you're looking at is the cover from the 1611 version of the King James Version. Yes, the 1611 edition of the King James Version, the very first version. Yes, the very first version of the King James Version. Let me repeat that. And the reason I'm here is because I'm showing you the actual cover. And as you can see, the cover even contains the name of our Father, the Hebrew name for our Father, Yahuwah. But when you look at the actual cover, this is what you see. So it says the Holy Bible containing the Old Testament and the New. But as you can see, the word containing isn't spelled like it's normally spelled today. And you can even see the word original is not spelled the way it is either. And when you look at this version, you start to notice something very interesting and suspicious about it. Indeed, because when you look at this word majesties, there is a letter that is not there. And that letter is the letter J, which we will be talking about and covering even more. But this is just the covering that I want you to see. As you can see, 1611, and we're going to go to the actual table of contents, and we're actually going to be reading from this version so that you can see the truth for yourself and so that you can be deceived no more. Now, upon first looking at this version, the very first thing you see about the 1611 version in the King James Version, and yes, this is the King James Version, this is the original King James Version that they used, the very first one. As you can see, here's the table of contents, but you start to notice something. You start to notice that some of the wordings and the way that they used to spell words back then, 400 years ago, is not how they spell words today. As you can see, it says the names in order of all the books of the Old and New Testament with the number of their chapters. Well, books isn't spelled like that today. And when you look at some of the chapters, they're not spelled like the way we spell it today either. For example, Deuteronomy is spelled with an IE instead of a Y in this version, but there's something else. There is a letter that is missing that is not here. Because when you look at Joshua, or what is commonly known as Joshua in this version, there is no letter J in this version. When you look at Jeremiah, there is no letter J. It is only a letter I. When you look at the book of Job, there is no letter J. It is only the letter I. And this book also contains the Apocrypha, which is books that they've taken out of Scripture in newer versions of the King James Version to keep you enslaved to just the 66 books, and also to keep these books hidden from you because they don't want you to know the true history. But that's another topic for another video. But I just wanted to show you and let you know that when you look at this version, and we're going to actually look at it, even the book of John, there is no letter J. It's a letter I right there. Where is that coming from? Where is the letter J? I've said before, and I will continue to say, the truth will be revealed to you today. And like I said earlier, we're going to be reading out of the original 1611 King James Version Bible so that you can be deceived no more. Because we're here in Yahuchanan, or John chapter 5, in the original King James Version, the very first one back in 1611, the one they used not even 400 years ago. And as you're going to see something very interesting and suspicious indeed, especially when it comes to the name of our Messiah. Now, it says, it even asks you, why does it have strange spelling? Well, you can look it up more on that, and I highly recommend you all check this out on your own time so that you can be deceived no more. But as you see, they use the archaic English, or the Old Middle English, back then during that time. And as you see in the actual scripture itself, you see that in the King James Version itself, that what? There is no letter J whatsoever. The letter J is nowhere to be found. As you can see, it says, after this there was a feast of what should save the Jews in the original King James. Well, in the 1611 version, it has the letter I. And by the way, the letters I and J were originally pronounced as the letter Y, so the YA sound. And you can see right here the name of the Messiah, what? It says, instead of saying Jesus, it says it with an I, or Isus, or Jesus as another way of pronouncing that. And as you can see, the spelling is different. This is how they originally spelled it. But there's no letter J. Can somebody tell me where the letter J is in this version? And if you look here, you'll even see that there is no letter J right there. And even verse 6 too even says, what? No letter J right there whatsoever. So if you keep going, and if we keep going, when we see the name of the Messiah, you see that what? No letter J. It's spelled with a letter I. And this chapter is all talking about searching the scriptures, which is what we are doing. As you can see in verse 8, there is no letter J. His name is spelled with an I. You will not find the letter J at all in these scriptures whatsoever. So the question is, why is it there in today's King James Version if it wasn't even there in the 1611 version? And then we have right here for the Jews, or the word that's commonly known as the Jews, in verse 10, we don't see the letter J there either. It's spelled differently, and they spelled it differently too. In verse 13, we still don't see the letter J either. In verse 14, there is no letter J right there. It's all the letter I. And we see that here, the letter I and the letter I right there. As we can see here, we see it again there, we see it again there. I'm just trying to give you a better idea and a better mental picture of this so that you can see how words were spelled differently back then. Even the word son was spelled differently back then, so that you can see that there was no letter J and that I'm not making this up. So then the question you should be thinking about is, if there was no letter J in the King James Version 400 years ago, and I've just proven to you with the actual King James Version itself that there was no letter J 400 years ago, then why is our Messiah's name spelled with a letter J? Because I'm here in the book of John, or Yahuchanan chapter 5 verses 43, and once again we're here in the 1611 King James Version, and it says, I am come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive. Why am I talking about this verse, and why is this verse so important? Is because the Messiah himself tells us that he comes in his Father's name. And of course, if you look at this version, you see that they spell the word receive differently. They spell it with the U instead of a V back then. I'm telling you, and they also spell believe differently back then too. I wonder why that's the case, because it's different English. Like I said, no letter J in this version at all. You're not going to find the letter J. So then why is our Messiah spelled with the name of the letter J if that's not even his name, if the letter J is not even in the scriptures whatsoever, as I've just proven today? And you can look at this more on your own time. So you may be wondering then, well, what's the Father's name? What name is he coming in? And are names really important? That's something that we will be tackling as well today. Because I'm here in Psalms, or Tehillim chapter 68 verses 4, where we can actually find the name of our Father, and we'll see exactly what the Messiah himself is talking about. Now, like I said, when you look at the original 1611 KJV, you're not going to find the letter J whatsoever in scripture at all. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why, and we're going to go over more of the letter J in the history of the letter J in just a second. But right now, we're going to go over names and why they're so important. So we're in the book of Psalms chapter 68. And as you can see, it even says the rejoicing, but hey, the rejoicing, there is no letter J right there.
This is about what Ron Wyatt claimed to discover. And he claimed to discover many things. If you're familiar with him, you know that he's made some pretty big claims, and if you're not familiar with him, this is about what Ron Wyatt claimed to discover. And he claimed to discover many things. If you're familiar with him, you know that he's made some pretty big claims, and if you're not familiar with him, this might be a bit of a shock for you, because some of the things that he's found should be known in the entire world of Christianity. Some of the things that he's found has been verified by multiple witnesses, yet they're not talked about. I think the reason they're not discussed in the Christian circle and in Christian churches is, number one, we live in a Laodicean dead church age. It's lukewarm. It doesn't care about the Bible or God. Number two, I think one of the issues is that he is a Seventh-day Adventist, and that scares people away from bringing him up. That scares away pastors and teachers from even mentioning his name because he's a Seventh-day Adventist. Now, I don't give a rip if he's a Seventh-day Adventist. I'm going to look at what he actually found, and I'm going to look at if he actually found it or not.
Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven.
The first discovery we can investigate is the location of Gomorrah.
And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a
Or is it 'cause you're lazy as fuck? Put the words that best describe you, hide them in the soles of your shoe. Can you feel the furies running amok, running over you like a monster truck? You're not doing what you were born to do. Stop pretending like you don't know it's true.
The thing I like most about you
is that you're held together with glue,
and you let them tell you what you can't do,
even though they all do it too. Now you're getting what you give. Everything is relative. Increase the cost, we both are lost now that I live with you.
Lazy as fuck. Lazy as fuck.